Welcome back to the channel, basketball family. What we just witnessed at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn for the 2026 NBA Draft was nothing short of absolute, unadulterated madness. If you thought you knew what was going to happen, if you trusted the mock drafts and insider reports, you were entirely mistaken. We are standing in the immediate aftermath of a draft night that has completely fractured the basketball community. And today, we are going completely under the hood to dissect the two most polarizing, franchise-altering decisions of the entire evening. We are talking about two cornerstone franchises, the Golden State Warriors and Los Angeles Lakers, making completely baffling high-stakes gambles that have their fan bases spiraling into a state of total disbelief. In the Bay Area, the Golden State Warriors held the highly coveted 11th overall pick, a golden ticket to secure the future or trade for a win-now superstar. Instead, they completely shocked the league by selecting 23-year-old Axel Lendeborg. We're going to break down exactly who will absolutely not agree with this pick and why it represents a terrifying rejection of modern draft philosophy. Then, we are heading straight to Los Angeles, where the Lakers finally found a perfect, high-IQ European guard in Sergio Delario with the 25th pick, only to immediately pull the rug out from under their fans and trade him to a direct Western Conference rival in exchange for Baylor's Cameron Carr. We are unpacking the mechanics, the deeply rooted financial fears of the new collective bargaining agreement, and the sheer desperation driving these front offices. Grab your coffee, settle in, and let us get right into the ultimate deep dive. Let us start with the Golden State Warriors. The situation in San Francisco is heavily documented. You have Stephen Curry, an absolute generational icon, operating in the deep twilight of his prime. The pressure to win a fifth championship is immense, and the new, highly punitive second apron rules mean the Warriors cannot just buy a team out of free agency anymore. They have to hit on their draft picks. They possess the 11th overall pick, a premium lottery selection. When Commissioner Adam Silver announced the name Axel Lendeborg, the collective gasp from the analytics community could be heard from space. Let me be perfectly clear. Axel Lendeborg is a phenomenal basketball player. He is a 23-year-old, battle-tested forward who just led the Michigan Wolverines to an NCAA national championship. He is a consensus All-American, the Big Ten Player of the Year, and arguably the most ferocious, relentless rebounder in this entire draft class. He has a massive frame, an incredible motor, and a story of pure grit, fighting his way up from the junior college ranks at Arizona Western to the absolute pinnacle of Division I basketball. So, who will not agree with the Warriors? Why is the internet absolutely melting down over this? The loudest voices in the room are the draft purists who worship at the altar of projectable upside. They look at a 23-year-old rookie, and they see a completely finished product. The cardinal rule of the NBA draft lottery is that you swing for the fences. You draft a raw, highly athletic 19-year-old who might become a perennial all-star in 5 years. You do not draft a player who is nearly half a decade older than some of his peers. The analytical models completely despise older prospects dominating younger collegiate competition. The math suggests that his overwhelming physical advantage in college will immediately evaporate against the grown men of the National Basketball Association. Furthermore, a massive segment of the Warriors fan base is furious. They suffered through the disastrous two timelines approach with James Wiseman and Jonathan Kuminga. They wanted general manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. to package this pick for a proven, established veteran star. Drafting a rookie, even an older, mature one, feels like a cowardly half-measure that fundamentally disrespects the urgency of Stephen Curry's closing window. The Golden State Warriors are essentially telling the rest of the league that they do not care about the future. They do not care about athletic ceilings or age curves. They care about immediate physical readiness. They drafted a player whose absolute defining traits are setting brutal screens, securing heavily contested rebounds, and executing the complex read and react offensive system designed by Steve Kerr without making rookie mistakes. It is an incredibly massive, high-wire gamble. If Lendeborg steps on the court next October and immediately provides a toughness and rebounding they lacked, the front office looks like absolute geniuses. But if he is too slow laterally to defend NBA wings, the critics who wanted a massive trade will completely tear this organization apart. Now, let us pivot down to the intense, suffocating pressure cooker of Los Angeles. The Lakers were sitting at the bottom of the first round with the 25th overall pick, armed with LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and a desperate need for perimeter shooting and playmaking. The Lakers were on the clock. The board had fallen perfectly for them. Sitting right, there was Sergio Delaria, a brilliant 6'6" point guard from Spain playing for Valencia Basket in the EuroLeague. The pick was made. The Lakers drafted him. The fan base absolutely erupted. Delaria is the exact archetype of player currently dominating the modern NBA, a jumbo-sized facilitator who shoots the lights out from deep and possesses a high-level basketball intelligence that perfectly complements LeBron James. But in the NBA, joy is often incredibly short-lived. Just moments after the celebration began, the news broke. The pick was a mirage. The guard was immediately taken from the Lakers. In a stunning multi-team trade, the Lakers completely punted on the Spanish maestro, allowing him to be shipped to the Dallas Mavericks. Instead, the Lakers walked away with Cameron Carr, the hyper-athletic wing from Baylor who unexpectedly fell down the draft board after being projected as a potential late lottery pick. We have to scrutinize the psychology behind this move. Why would the Lakers draft the exact structural fit they needed, only to instantly hand him to Luka Doncic and a direct Western Conference rival? The answer lies in the terrifying reality of a European adjustment curve and the absolute desperation of the Lakers' timeline. While Sergio Delaria is a brilliant offensive mind, European point guards notoriously require a steep, multi-year adjustment period to adapt to the sheer athletic violence and speed of NBA defenses. The Lakers, trying to squeeze one final championship run out of a nearly 42-year-old LeBron James, looked at Delaria and decided they simply did not have 2 years to wait for him to acclimate. They also had massive internal concerns about point-of-attack defense. The Lakers front office clearly valued the raw, switchable athleticism and domestic collegiate production of Cameron Carr over the smooth, offensive polish of Delaria. Carr averaged nearly 19 points at Baylor with absolute elite shooting splits, and his ability to defend multiple positions on the perimeter is something the Lakers desperately crave. However, the optics of this draft night shell game are absolutely devastating. You allowed a brilliant European playmaker to go to the Dallas Mavericks, a team that just proved they know exactly how to maximize international talent. The Lakers are betting everything that Cameron Carr's immediate athletic translation will vastly outweigh Delaria's high-ceiling playmaking as we pull back and look at the grand mosaic of the 2026 NBA draft. The overarching theme is undeniable. Paralyzing fear, severe financial restrictions, and sheer timeline desperation have completely shattered traditional draft logic. The Golden State Warriors are so terrified of wasting Stephen Curry's final years that they completely ignore conventional wisdom, drafting a 23-year-old for his immediate toughness and floor awareness. The Los Angeles Lakers are so intensely focused on immediate, athletic defensive versatility that they traded away a brilliantly skilled international guard. Terrified his developmental curve will be just a few months too slow. These are not standard draft picks. These are franchise-defining wagers. We will not know the true outcome in the Summer League. The real answers will be written in the cold, unforgiving crucible of the Western Conference playoffs next spring. If these picks backfire, the fallout will be absolutely historic. Thank you so much for joining me on this comprehensive deep dive. The off-season is just getting started. The landscape of the league is violently shifting, and we will be right here to meticulously analyze every single transaction. Keep your eyes on the court, and I will see you in the next breakdown.